Hey y'all, it's Spider Monday. Go ahead and get your Spider-Man No Way Home ticket. Oh wait, you can't. Because all of these dudes crashed every ticket servicing site. So I can't enjoy Spider Monday. I'm gonna have to enjoy Spider Tuesday. I'm gonna have to enjoy the less popular Tarantula Tuesday. Oh god. Marvel's marketing team was like, Spider Monday, baby, get your tickets. And then
did they really do that? Was that the actual marketing behind it?
That was like a hashtag and a thing they were pushing, yeah. And then I was awake last night. Because we were like, oh, we'll just record in the morning. So I was like, well, I'm awake. Let me see. It's 12:20. It's only been 20 minutes after midnight. Surely, like, maybe one theater's filled up, but surely I'll be able to get a later time. I couldn't even log on to Fandango.
God damn.
Everything was gone. And I went to Twitter just to see, maybe if anybody, dude, it was that scene from Community where Donald Glover comes back with the pizzas and everything is just in chaos. Like every tweet from every Marvel or like head executive, like, oh, enjoy Spider-Man, like enjoy your tickets, guys. Everyone was like, yeah, I wish I could.
I had realized the other day that I never watched any of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, no, it had occurred to me because, like, so my brother got a PS5 a couple months ago.
Damn, what the hell?
I know, right?
He's one of the 100, he's one of the people that Sony was talking, so it's real.
He's one of the few, one of the proud, one of the Marines, yeah. Dude, it's Sony fucking tweeted, huge and stupid.
Yeah, I saw our friend Kevin's when we went up to visit him in Orlando, and it was real big and stupid. But every time I see one in the wild, owned by someone that's tangible and real, I just think about that Sony tweet where like, congrats to the PS5 for 100,000 units moved or sold, and then like the first response that like ratioed them was like, to who? Like,
hell yeah.
But anyways, continue. You guys watching the Spider-Man movies?
So, because my brother's got a PS5, he got the Miles Morales, but Miles Morales comes with the remaster of the first Spider-Man PS4, that one.
Isn't that game so freaking good?
Dude, it's pretty good. I'm not enjoying like how the DLC is structured personally.
Yeah.
But like the base game, it's really good. And so it got me thinking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, I forget how much I like Spider-Man. Oh, there's a new Spider-Man movie coming up. Wait, what were the other ones?
Oh.
So that's what got me into thinking that. And yeah, now I fucking we stayed up 2 nights ago watching Homecoming and Far From Home.
They're both. I think they're both really good.
Homecoming was really good and really interesting. Tom Holland Spider-Man's pretty good. Like, so I saw someone put it. There was a tweet that was like, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, top notch. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, top notch. Tom Holland, not the best of both worlds, but pretty good in between.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I just have to agree with that.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, Tom Holland's grown on me a lot, because at first I was like, no, he's good. I like him. I'll see where it goes. But the more I watch his Spider-Man in the movies, I'm like, I think I like him the best. Like, I like the other ones too. But I don't know, Tom Holland just has I don't even know how to put it. He just has like the intangible feeling that I get when I read Spider-Man comics, and Peter Parker is just like I don't even know. Just like when I read a good Spider-Man comic and Peter Parker's pouring his freaking heart out, and I'm just like, I'm with you,
Yeah,
Peter. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
get when I
yeah.
watch Tom Holland. I'm like, man, I like this.
I do say, like, okay, Tom Holland's not gonna be Spider-Man forever, but the
Yeah.
next Spider, like, if they fucking reboot Spider-Man for literally the upteenth time,
Yeah.
they better fucking pick a kid from fucking Brooklyn or Queens.
Yeah.
Like, I need some fucking New Yorker here. Like, it pains me. It pains me not to see him be a New Yorker.
New Yorker.
I will
Yeah.
say, in Far From Home, I legit, like, I was like sitting there and I was like, wait, how was Mysterio a villain? Because, like, the way the movie structured, I was like,
Oh, yeah,
there was something about it. There's a reason why he's a villain. And then I remembered, like, how he was in the comics, like, what his quote-unquote superpower is. I was like, oh, shit, this is pretty good. And then it was just me. The rest of the movie was me watching Adri make these realizations.
Yeah. Just as soon as you make the realization, just turning slowly to Adri to watch her reaction.
Yeah. That shit was fun. That was pretty good.
Hell yeah. No, I can't wait for the new movie. Case in point, we're not a Spider Monday fan cast. We are actually Paramecia, a One Piece fan cast where we review the latest One Piece chapter and have One Piece related discussions every single week. Sorry, my brain froze because I just Spider Monday.
Spider Monday.
I got a case of the Spider Mondays. My name is John.
My name is Franz.
Oh god, no. We are actually here with chapter 1033, and man, look, I just want to say, look, I'm Sanji fanboy, but I also delve into the Zoro fanboy, and when I saw both of them taking on King and Queen, I think you and I both knew, like, oh, like, if you're a fan of these characters, you're gonna be eating good. And holy shit, did this chapter, like...
It's totally happening. We're eating good.
Oh, we're eating good. I mean, just from the name of the chapter, Shimotsuki Kozaburo, I was like, oh, like, okay, we getting some village lore from, from, like, the Shimotsuki village or whatever.
Dude, it's exciting,
holy crap. Yeah, we got, like, so many revelations, more than I think, like, I even expected.
Yeah, like, but all the while, like, I'm glad that the revelations weren't, like, because we've always made the comparison,
son of a god,
that, like, like, we know in some way as readers, as keen readers, that Zoro is related to the daimyo or whatever of that place, who is related in turn to Ryoma, the sword god. But, like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I'm glad with the direction they took, because it seems that, like, I mean, I guess it could be revealed later, but this chapter definitely made it feel like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like, that's not the reason why he was chosen. Like,
Yeah. Like, yeah. The lore drops here, I'm more content about.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. I mean, let's just jump straight in. Let's just jump right into it.
Because it's good from the beginning.
Yeah, reader request. Tashigi dressed as a bad guy, getting defeated by baby penguins playing heroes by Soda Susu. And this is adorable. Like, Smoker's just chilling, like, smoking. But, I don't know where they're on some, like, ice island or something, and these little baby penguins have, like, little, like, Sentai things on their heads. And they have, like, little cardboard swords and capes, and they're fighting Tashigi, who is
like a killer whale.
Yeah, she's like a killer whale or like a shark or something. And like it's wild. Like she's just getting attacked and it's so cute. She has like a little white flag and all the penguins' reactions are great. Like half of them are cheering and then one of them is just staring at Smoker like screaming.
Because let's be honest, like, Smoker looks like a villain.
Yeah, if I saw Smoker just chilling there with his half a fork, I'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah, no. Like, I mean, there's always like the comparison to Crocodile, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, with like the cigar and stuff.
Yeah. That's just fucking there. But dude, this request, Soda Susu, this is the big brain play.
The big brain play, yeah. This is some good stuff. But no, we start the chapter outside the dome, Zoro versus King, and he's like screaming at Enma from the end of last chapter, and he's like, "Enma, who gave you permission to unleash your power?" As he like pops his arm back to normal. And King is just like rushing at him like, "What's wrong? Having an argument?"
And then he rushes in and then just like stops in front of Zoro menacingly. And Zoro's like, what do you think you're doing? Stabs him. King says jackpot. And then Zoro's face turns white, kind of like that gif from the old man getting eviscerated. That's from like the first Final Fantasy 14 cutscene. And then Zoro just blows up, and that's the end of the chapter.
That's it, man. Zoro lore. We really had you in the beginning, didn't we? Zoro lore. He's dead.
Everyone's fucking dead.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't. Somebody on Twitter, I guess, was like, I don't know, somebody was like, maybe this is like supposed to be a reference to that one game where like you put the swords in the barrel and then like if you lose it like pops out.
Oh, dude, that game's so popular. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense, I guess. But it's just like it's just weird. Like, oh, okay, he's exploding. Cool,
dude. And like, do you remember at the end of last episode how I was like talking myself into a circle about how he is Logia, he is just flame and gas, even though we've seen his face and whatever. Like I got into the same spiral again this time. Because I was like, he let out the gas, the immense amount of pressure, the explosion.
Yeah.
I need to get a little framed picture of that little like corner of King's face. Just to remind myself not to go down these rabbit holes.
Just the first page of the chapter, you need that panel with you where you can see part of his forehead, like.
Exactly.
Oh man, honestly, yeah.
But like, no fucking nothing after that explosion. We just go straight into Pleasure Hall, Left Brain Tower, Skull Dome, Sanji versus Queen. And Queen's just laughing it off. Oh, that was the pirate hunter on the snail just now, wasn't it? Trust me, he can't be king. That guy's a remnant of the extinct Lunarians, a monster capable of surviving in any natural environment. In the distant past, his people were known as gods. And then Sanji asks, the question that we all want to know, then why would they have died out? And his only fucking answer, pissing me off.
Yeah.
You want to know? Go ask a history book.
As he charges his brachio beam.
Dude, what does this mean?
I have no idea, but there's something King does later in the chapter that I was like, there it is. But no, God, I mean, they're part of the puzzle, right? Like whatever's written in Oden's journal is gonna somehow be, or it's gonna somehow include the Lunarians or something. Like whatever happened in the like they're gonna be part of the Void Century. And I'm just
Yes, part of the Void Century for sure.
yeah, and part of me's like, well, what happened? I don't know. The first thing I thought of when I read Go Ask a History book, I was like, oh, haha, funny. But then I also thought like, well, shit, does he mean like the world government like hunted them down? Like, because maybe, you know, I mean, they're not below doing that like they
Not
would.
at all, yeah. Dude, it's a fucking wonder. Like, just about anything is possible with regards to this. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. Like the whole the key here, the sentence everyone should have highlighted is in any natural environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that is like,
Hear me out. Space ain't so natural.
Oh shit.
Do I have any reason to believe that? No. Do I also believe that King is made out of gas? Yes.
The JoJo meme just yes.
So you be the judge.
Space is natural. Jotaro gif. No. King is made of gas. Yes.
Dude, fucking, like, if you're a gas, you go up all the way to space, then, I don't know.
I've never been to space, so I didn't think it this far through.
You would explode. Because
any natural environment, space is a vacuum. Vacuums are man-made by Dyson. It all makes sense.
So we go back to the fucking explosion. And Zoro's just like in a crater, like, oh, that was close. I'd be dead if it weren't for armament hockey, blah, blah, blah. But how's he alive? He blew himself up. And then Zoro does his like sick ass, like EI one sword style Death Lion song.
Yeah, she
gets him. And King for a second's like, and then just does the fucking face again.
Yeah, damn, he hits him with the bites the lip.
Dude, like, we always say it, but Oda is a genius when it comes to knowing when to have, like, comedic moments during very serious moments. He's got us on our toes all the time.
It's so good. If you had told me, like, before, like, oh, there's gonna be dinosaur fruits, but they're all gonna be jokes, I would have been like, oh, like, that's gonna suck. Like, I don't like that. And then I read this entire arc right now, and I'm like, dude, I need more funny dinosaur facts. Like, I need to see what else they're gonna do.
All of us waiting in bated breath for fucking whatever happens with X Drake and his dinosaur stuff.
Cause part of me is like, nah, X Drake is too straight laced to do that. And then the thought goes deeper, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's because he's so straight laced that the gag will be even funnier.
Exactly. Cause like King is very straight laced.
Yeah. Oh god. No, yeah, King does fuckboy King. He does his imperial, what is it? Imperial, I have to look at all the bubbles. Deep Pride steak. And he like launches himself. But while he's charging up the attack, Zoro's like, oh, but that last one was a way better attack. And he starts grabbing the other two swords. And then Enma flares up again. And he's like telling Enma, like, dude, like, stop, not now. And it keeps trying to like suck his hockey out.
The sucky.
Yeah, it's, when you nut and she keeps sucking, that's Enma. Somebody put a tweet, it's like tried to suck Zoro dry. It's like Enma and Oden's daughter, they're handshaking.
Oh, I saw that shit. Primo fucking meme.
So good, but well, yeah, Zoro gets I can't see it. It doesn't look like he gets chunked, but it's close to it.
Yeah,
he gets shot. He's bleeding, and he gets like launched off of, or it looks like he gets launched off of like at least onto the ground floor.
dude. But like, I've lost track of where everyone is or whatever. Like, I don't know where down is from here or how he's even capable of going somewhere. But they're probably gonna land in like basement floors, is what is ending up here.
Basically, because like the explosion is taking out like the entire side of the rock. So I'm like, well, the only place to go is down or off of Onigashima.
Down or die.
Down or die, dude. You either go down or you die. But no, but King has a little quip, which is kind of the setup for the beginning of this whole chapter, because he's like, oh, a swordsman held back by his own sword, like that's a new one. And this was the start of the sequence that I love this. Because Zoro is like in free fall, and he's like, oh, Kitetsu the third, and he goes to grab Kitetsu, and we get a flashback of him like getting all, like we get a flashback as he grabs all of his swords. Like we get flashbacks to like the lore behind every single one, and Zoro starts realizing, like, you know, he starts making some realizations. But we get the Kitetsu one where what's his face,
Tanguyama.
Tanguyama is like, you already wield Kitetsu the third, that is one of mine. And he's like, what? And then we get a flashback all the way to East Blue where he's like, the sword's bewitched. Are you a fool? I can't sell you that sword. If you died, it'd be like I killed you myself. And Zoro's like, I'll take it.
Dude, when he did the flippy shit, that shit was sick.
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to tell somebody about this. Do you remember? I tried to like type it out in the Discord. I was trying to tell somebody because they had mentioned this, like, oh, like the cursed blade. But I couldn't remember. Do you remember when we saw film Gold in theaters?
Kind of.
So there's a scene at the end where he's fighting this dude, and the dude like takes Kitetsu the third, and Zoro has like, he has some kind of line where it's like, oh, like, don't you know, like it's a cursed blade or something. And then instead of that playing any sort of role, Zoro uses Zero Sword style and just starts beating the guy up with his fists, and I was like, oh. But I remember, because I think we talked about it when the movie was over. I was like, I was so hoping for the sword to like hurt the guy in some way because it was cursed, like oh, like no, like you're not Zoro, like you can't handle me or something. Like I was hoping for the sword to do something like that, but
I kind of remember, but also at the same time, I don't remember. Yeah, it was a bit ago.
Yeah.
Damn, we should do like movie rewatch. We should do movie watch throughs.
Oh, I'd be down. I have Stampede, like the Blu-ray, so I could probably like figure some way to stream it. Shh, don't tell Papa Bezos, but
we got our ways.
Yeah.
I mean, Crunchyroll should have some of them.
Yeah, I think they do. But man, all that to say, getting the lore this chapter for the Cursed Blade stuff is so good.
It is, because like after that first flashback, like King keeps going. It was like, oh, you're gonna die just to save your sword, and fucking dude, I think Zoro was like falling off. And
maybe
then King kicks him back basically into the basement floor.
Oh, and he has fire on his foot. There it is.
Yup, it's the Sanji thing. It also feels like kind of poetic for Zoro to be fighting Sanji's like genetic prototype or whatever.
Yeah.
There's something there. I'm not San Zoro, so I can't like get you the last 10 feet, but someone could, just not me.
Someone can, yeah.
And then he goes and grabs Wado Ichimonji, you know, the sword he's had the whole damn time. And he flashes back to him talking to his like old sensei. May I have her sword? I'll have to keep the promise for both of us. I'm going to become such a great master swordsman that my name will be known even in heaven. And then we get another flash. We're getting flashbacks on flashbacks.
Yeah,
like
this is Inception. Like, they're dreams into other dreams.
we're not used to this because Luffy doesn't think.
Yeah.
But Zoro does. Because his next flashback is to Tenguyama. It must be some twist of fate. You see, that white blade, Wado Ichimonji, and Enma were both crafted by the same man. Which, that was a fucking drop back then. The blacksmith, Shimotsuki Kozaburo. And the last thing we get on this page is Zoro finally getting out of the flashback. Just like, oh, it all came so sudden. I wasn't putting it together. Why would there be a famous katana Wano in some tiny village of the blue East Blue?
Yeah, I love it. He's starting to, the neuron activated. He's starting to think. He's like, oh, wait a minute. The puzzle pieces that have been there the whole time. And the catalyst for everyone realizing this was the stupid blacksmith with the nails in his nose from Volume 2 SBS.
Dude, and SBS's, they continue delivering. We'll get to it.
But we have Imperial slings and arrows as King just starts firing off these like projectiles of some sort. And he's kind of taunting him like, do you have all 3 swords yet? And Zoro keeps like trying to use Enma, and we can see it like every time he grabs it, it's constantly like sucking the haki out of him. And again, Zoro gets launched off, and we get another flashback. Zoro Juro, I was told not to say Sunachi. What? It's just something the old guy in my village told me. I've never said it myself before. He's like, what? And then we get, the old man was always sitting there at the coast. I never knew his name. It wasn't until the day he died that I learned he was Kuina's grandpa. The blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo. He broke the laws and left this land over 50 years ago. And we get, like, Zoro's on the ground just thinking, and we get, like, big flashback, like, the black page starts.
Yeah.
13 years ago, East Blue, Zoro's hometown, First Moon, Shimotsuki Village. And they're all, like, training in the dojo. And he's just like, yes, Sunachi. It's a magical word that summons strength into your heart. Well, that sounds weird. I don't need it. Anyway, old man, is it true you used to be a samurai? Everybody at the dojo was saying it. And the SBS reveal,
dude,
Oda,
what a sly fuck. Like,
so we get old man of the village, and we get the confirmation that later as Zoro realizes that this is Shimotsuki Kozaburo, but I forget the SBS which one it is. But the question is like,
kind of recent. I want to say it was the last year.
Yeah. So it's like 90 something. It had to have been. But somebody asked the question like, oh, like basically Bleach style. Like, does Zoro's swords have like, you know, like spirits within them? Like, what would they look like? Like, do they look like people? And he drew all of them as like weird looking old people with like weird proportions that are over exaggerated.
Because the question asker came around with like their own design for two swords. I don't remember which ones they were. One of them was Mihawk's sword, and there was another one. Like, the question asker was like, oh, these are like my sword OC designs. What are yours, Oda? And Oda was like, here's the 3 ugliest fuckers you've ever seen.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is when he shows you the ugliest fuckers you've ever seen, the one for Wado Ichimonji is this dude whose eyebrows are like a giant unibrow, and he has like a bowl cut, and his hair is like black. And it's the younger version of this character we're seeing right here.
You know the biggest brain thing? Because, like, the biggest thing about Wado Ichimonji, like, my connection to Wado Ichimonji and this guy's eyebrows is in Japanese, one is the easiest thing. It's just a straight horizontal stroke.
Oh, is it really?
It is. So I'm thinking that's the through line, you know?
Yeah, literally, that's the through line.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh shit, dude. It's so fucking good. Oh man, the old man says something about the Navy coming to the village if Zoro
Yeah,
says
like,
anything. And Zoro's just like, yeah, fine. Stubborn old fart, whatever. He goes off and starts beating shit up with his 2 practice swords. And, you know, the guy's still there. He's just like kind of observing. And he's just like, is the dojo boring to you? And Zoro's going, I lost to Kuina again. I need more practice. And the guy just gives him 2 swords. And someone on our Discord brought up, holy hell, who?
I think I know Arthur talked about a couple other people, but when I saw the 2 swords, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is where they came from? Like, that's such a, like...
Yeah, no. So, like, it's the 2 swords he had at the beginning on top of Wado Ichimonji. And the guy's just, like, so flippant about it. And he's like, oh, I'm giving them to you. Trust me, they're crap. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And even, like, because in Zoro's original flashback, he comes up to Kuina and he's like, I got 2 real swords. Like, let's fight now. Like, I'll win this time. And those are the 2 swords he had. Like, so this dude gave him these swords and he immediately goes to Kuina like, yeah, let's fight to the death.
Hey, let me stab you real quick.
Yeah.
As a friend.
But, oh, man. And Kozaburo's like, well, I guess at this point, still the old man, but he's like, oh, I'm giving them to you. Trust me, they're crap. It's the only thing I seem to be able to forge anymore. Use them for practice if you want. And then he pulls out one of his blades, and he's like, listen closely. A sword's like a kitchen knife, but for murder. They're created to kill people, which is just that line. A sword's like a kitchen knife, but for murder. That's so good. But and he goes on, he's like, and a blacksmith hones his craft so that his weapons are better at killing than any other. And Zoro's like, yikes. But he starts going on, and I thought this part was really interesting, because he's like, a sword has its own personality. A swordsman must master it and bend it to his will. You think a dangerous sword is cursed? No, that's a sign of great quality. When the weak fear a sword and call it cursed, that is a badge of honor. They should be frightening. They're meant to cause terrible harm. There was one blade I created when I was a young man. It was the greatest weapon I have ever made. Its disposition was deadly serious. Just holding it in your hand sent a shiver down the spine. So I gave that masterpiece the name of the king who watches over hell. And this is when Zoro realizes, like, I love this panel of it, like, flashing back to reality and his eyes wide as he just, like, turns his head to stare. And he's like, the king of the underworld, Enma. And you could just see Enma, like, smoking, like, flaring up.
Dude, it's so fucking good. And like, Zoro's, like, still on the fucking ground. Again, it seems to be the basement.
Yeah.
And like, the cogs are, the hamster in the wheel in his brain is finally moving for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And he's like, my village is named for Shimotsuki. Was it not a coincidence after all? Like, okay, guy. And then he remembers a bunch of kids just like, oh, did you know our village was built by pirates? That's what my grandma said. And then Tenguyama, the blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo, he broke the laws. He left this land over 50 years ago. And then Zoro finally connects the dots. So the old man was a samurai of Wano, the blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo. And another line that was not related to the prior flashback with him
Yeah.
A great blade can see into you. It chooses only the swordsman who best suits it. And then a flashback to the guy from East Blue. A sword chooses its wielder. And Zoro's like, you know, he's getting he doesn't even have the sword in his hand, and he's getting completely sucked. It came to me, it chose me, so it could test me as King fucking approaches.
Oh man, and he picks it up on the next page, and you could see his arm like normal again, normal proportions, and he's like, the sword is honest and direct, not wicked. Yes, it's true. It was my strength that was lacking. Does that mean, even with so much haki being drained away, Oden wielded you as though you were light as a feather, Enma? And, like, I mean, it was clear before, but I saw some people freaking out this week too, like, oh my god, he, like, actually has? I was like, well, yeah, like, I felt like when Kaido said it to him, like, that was, you know, like, like pretty set in stone, but
yeah,
the Beast Pirates are like, look, it's Pirate Hunter, like, let's take him out. Like, I could really use a promotion. And he's just there, and he's like, how should I stabilize my haki then? If I have to keep exuding it at this level, it'll kill me. And then he just goes, but no, that's perfect. And you see the conquering haki knocking out all of these dudes. And he's just standing there. And in the top panel, I love, because you could, like, they zoom in on him, but you can see it, and like the black lightning coming off of like all three swords.
Mm-hmm.
And King is just like, I see. So you intend to be a king then? And we get a flashback to Luffy. Mind you, we've had a flashback to like the East Blue and like, I guess indirectly Kuina this whole time, but he's like, the world's greatest swordsman, that's great. And it's fitting, since your new boss is going to be king of the pirates. Anything else would make me look bad. And Zoro's just smiling at King with Wado in his mouth. And he's like, that's right. I've got a promise to keep to my captain and my best friend. And
dude, this shit hits so hard. I, like a lot of people, I assumed that best friend referred to Luffy. Like normal people. I'm gonna fucking drag Drawn out.
No, please.
Cause he is stuck in some Zoro-san shit.
Yeah.
And
I was like, damn, he didn't even show up this chapter for like one panel, bro. Like, dude, I'm eating good. I wasn't eating good.
It is not referring to Sanji, and it also isn't referring to Luffy. The first I saw this was from Sandman, the like professionally hobbyist translator for miscellaneous One Piece stuff on Twitter.
I love shout outs to Sandman. Sandman,
dude,
if you ever somehow hear this, you are the absolute best, and I wish you nothing but happiness in your life, because this dude, Sandman, goes about his day, just, you know, living his life. And then something like this will happen, and he'll randomly just be like, hey, so here's, like, the most important translation work that, like, nobody's doing. Here, have it as a gift. And it's like, yo.
Dude. Oh, shit. His stuff is great, and, like, Sandman pointing out that, like, best friend categorically has to be Kuina. That was like galaxy brain for me.
Yeah.
So like the way he justified it is through precedence. So a lot of translation is seeing what people have done before and seeing, does this make sense for my context? Does this, you know, is there precedence for this? It's kind of like being a fucking lawyer, honestly. And looking back, like, the most Zoro ever refers to Luffy as, like, he always, like, captain, you know? But
yeah,
the most, like, friendly thing would be, like, eyeball, which is tantamount to partner. But, like, not like romantic partner and not, like, business partner, but, like, partner in crime kind of partner. You feel me?
Yeah, Bonnie and
like,
Clyde.
like the southern partner with a D, you know?
Partner.
That's how it feels. But when he refers to best friend, the word being used shinyu, that is almost exclusively referring to Kuina. So that was some big brain shit.
Absolutely wild. Like, oh man, like, so good. And I like, man, Zoro, I was thinking about this the other day, like Zoro's commitment to like becoming the greatest swordsman for Kuina, like, just I feel someday soon I should like make a video or something talking about this, or go on like when we have a break week, just fucking go off, cuz I was just thinking about like Zoro, you know, his whole story is to become the greatest swordsman of all time. And I've seen a lot of people like, oh, like he has to fight Mihawk to do that. And I'm on the opposite. I'm like, I don't think he has to. I don't think he has to, like, I don't think he has to fight and defeat Mihawk in order to be the greatest swordsman of all time.
Right, yeah.
Like, he could, yes, that's one avenue to do it, but I also feel like what's kind of being, like, all of his fights in the entire series, really, but, like, I know specifically in the New World, too, have been against people, well, since before New World, too, because even Daz Bones, Mr.
Right, Mr.
2,
One?
or no. Mr. 1, no, Mr. 2's Monclay, yeah.
Okay,
Mr. 1.
Yeah.
I know his actual legal, I know his legal name, but then the code name, I'm like, yeah. That's the deep cut no me, the foils, the weakness of the deep cut. But like we've talked about it before, because we talked about it, I think, when King pulled out his sword, which was like the European style. It was called like a sword breaker, and it was like very anti what sort, like very anti honor, I guess.
Yes.
It wasn't what a like what Zoro considers like a true, you know, swordsman. Like,
it was for fun, not for honor.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout outs
for
to
fun.
Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
No, fuck, the one
not
before
for
that.
glory.
Yeah.
Smash 4, I think, is when that started.
Yes.
For fun, for glory. Like, but like everybody, and even like you know, Pika was a swordsman, but his whole thing was like coward, like running away and like trying to like hit Zoro, like not like he was trying to fight Zoro like not head on, always trying to like ambush him, like not being,
I mean, he's
Daz Bones thing was, oh wait, go ahead.
His whole shit, he's used his sword twice. He's used his head an equal amount of times, and he's used fire shit, counting the explosion, more times than any time he swung his sword.
Yeah. His whole thing is he's fought swordsmen all throughout his journey that like are not they have something or another that is not something that makes them a true swordsman. You know, like I use that in quotations, like a true swordsman. Like when you think of Zoro's title, like what he wants to be the greatest swordsman, there's a sort of like feeling to the title that I guess is just by the reader is just sort of,
yeah, there's like an honesty to it.
Yeah, we kind of insert this like honesty to it, like, oh, like they have to be honorable, you know, they have to be samurai, basically, like they have to be honorable.
Go back to Smash, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of Fire Emblem characters, but the one that does the magic, is that one really a swordsman character? Because there's a lot of them in Smash.
Oh yeah.
But like, I wouldn't say that one's a swordsman character. Yes, they have, like, is Kirby a swordsman character?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so, bud.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's
that's
like in Smash,
what it is.
and you're playing Marth, and everybody's picking the characters that have swords but are not swordsmen. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fighting you with Kirby and Pit and all these other stupid people who have swords, but it's like they're not real swordsmen. Like, so his whole journey has been fighting these kinds of people, and I just feel like you know, maybe at the end of the story, I definitely am not saying I would be against it. Like, if it turns out that he challenges Mihawk, and like fights him and truly defeats him in battle. And then it's like, okay, you're the greatest swordsman. But like, it just feels like something like that, like a fight with him and Mihawk is less important to the overall story than like Luffy's journey to be Pirate King, if that makes
Without
sense.
a doubt.
Like, I feel like if Zoro and Mihawk fight, it would be after the events of whenever Luffy finds the One Piece.
Yeah,
because
it literally
Zoro's mission, I mean, it says right here, like that final page, like his mission is to help Luffy become the Pirate King. So anything before that, like, he can't, like, he has to become the greatest swordsman before Luffy in a weird way. Like, if he becomes the greatest swordsman after Luffy becomes the Pirate King, like, that's not really, that's kind of antithetical to what his you know, mission is in a way. So and like the fight with Mihawk, Mihawk isn't the kind of character that would stand, like, he wouldn't with what we believe is gonna happen in the end game, like, you know, like, we're gonna fight against the world government or whatever. Like, the world government is currently hunting down Mihawk. Like, he's not gonna be on the world government's side. Who's the final villain?
We fucking know that.
Yeah, and so I don't think that Zoro. I don't think it would be out of Mihawk's character to just out of nowhere be like, all right, we're fighting right now. It's like, what? Like, he's not, like, you know, that I don't think that would happen. I think what it's gonna come down to is that Zoro is going to end up doing something, or like he's going to end up doing something. He's gonna do a feat that is so, like, grand in scale that, like, the rest of the world will just have to, the entire world will have to see him as the greatest swordsman of all time,
dude.
And I feel like whatever that is, it's going to be in the end.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like, it's much more likely that Zoro and Mihawk will end up fighting side by side at the end, and maybe like spar in some kind of like post kind of thing, and like, what's more important than like the defeat, the kill, you know, like,
yeah,
we know that One Piece fans are out here. Some of them are caring way too much about KDA. Like, who fucking cares, dude?
They're my kill death.
Like, what's important here is Mihawk, like, verbally recognizing Zoro and his abilities.
Yeah.
And that holds more sway than anything else. Because, like, it's not like they're adversaries. It's not like they're rivals or anything. The fucking guy taught Zoro for quite some time. Like,
yeah, and it's also a thing of, like, so they Mihawk trained him, and it's you know, at some point maybe they will fight. I'm not saying it won't happen, because there's definitely the undertone of, like, Zoro, when Zoro went to train with him, when Kuma sent him to Mihawk, he was like, I want to fight you, but I need your help to train. Like, I have something more important I need to take care of, and that's help my captain.
Right.
And even Mihawk doubled down on him, like, you're really gonna bow down to me and beg for your captain? Like, this isn't for you? And he's like, yeah, like, I'll do anything for Luffy. Like, it doesn't matter. And that is when Mihawk decided to train him. And, like, you know, I don't see him and Mihawk again. I don't see them fighting until after the events of the main conflict are resolved. Like, I could see them fighting if it's like, you know, like, sort of a what happened afterwards. Like, when it shows, in my mind, the way I see it is like when we get a scene of, like, all the Straw Hats on their own.
Yeah.
Like, you know, after they leave the crew, after the story's resolved, like, we get to see what they're doing. And that is when it makes the most sense for me, when I could see Zoro finally, like, challenging Mihawk. Like, finally, like, okay, like, I'm ready to take you on. But again, in my mind, by that point, I think already, like, he would be considered the greatest swordsman by, like, the rest of the world, even Mihawk. But it's also a thing of, like, when we, the readers, and the entire world in the story recognize Zoro as the greatest, I think to Zoro he would still not recognize himself as the greatest until he beats Mihawk. So
dude,
it's
because
kind of like a weird catch-22.
like not to get into like super like crazy like fucking moon shit, but like
oh yeah,
in the flashback, like even his name will be recognized in heaven. There's a lot of ways you could think about that. Like Sword God revived would be one way to think about it.
yeah.
Another way to think about it, the greatest swordsman in the world be in space.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's what I really think it's gonna come down to him doing something that like no other swordsman has been able to do. I still would like to see, like, part of that theory I would like to see, and like I think there's enough setup for it to happen. Like there's enough, like, especially with his connection to Kuina and Wado Ichimonji.
yeah.
I think I subscribe to the theory. I think by the end of the series, Wado Ichimonji will become he will make it a supreme grade sword. Like it'll become a black blade, and it will, like, because of whatever feat Zoro does, like it will be recognized worldwide as like the newest, like the 13th supreme grade sword.
I wonder if that'll actually be how that factors out. It'd be really interesting to consider.
Yeah, because I feel like there's no way Wado gets like broken or anything because of like the value that it, like, the sense of like what it means to Zoro to carry that blade to the end of his journey.
Right.
So I do think, like, I think that by the end it'll become a supreme grade. My ultimate hope would be that maybe he makes all 3 of his blades supreme grade.
That would be cool.
Because as far as I know, I don't think Enma was one of the supreme grade ones. I think it was like, because I think Tenguyama had some kind of line when he gave him Enma, like, oh, like Enma, like maybe you have the, maybe you're the chosen one to finally take it to that level. That's not the exact wording, but it was something along those lines. Like maybe he's the one that could make it supreme grade or something like that.
Oh.
But I don't know. It's Zoro just got me feeling some kind of way, man. I'm in his corner. As the reader, I see Zoro's feats and I see this chapter and I'm like, dude, to me, you're already the greatest swordsman in the world. For like everybody you've had to fight and everything you've been up to, like, you're the greatest. And it's just to see him move forward and prove that into the end game is going to be super sick.
Zoro's good.
Yeah, that's the if you take away anything from this chapter, just Zoro's good, huh? Like,
we love him. It sounds like there should be something like you hate him after that, but no, everyone loves Zoro, right?
Yeah, everyone loves Zoro. Everyone better love Zoro. Who doesn't like Zoro?
Raise
your goddamn hand right now.
We just want to know.
Yeah, for science purposes.
Exactly. Also, what's your credit card number and those wacky 3 digits in the back? Also, your address.
3 digits. Oh my god! And if you're born here, the government gives you a funny 9-digit number that you should 9 digits. You should definitely give me that funny 9-digit number.
The Social Security.
Yeah. It's hilarious. The funny 9 digits, funny numbers.
Super, super funny. Oh, man. That'll do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. There's for sure going to be a chapter. It's going to be 1034.
Hell yeah.
I'm still not used to saying 10 and then a number because...
Yeah. It's so weird.
We're sure past fucking 1,000 chapters, huh?
We made it.
Also
made it to 1,000 episodes of the anime, which, I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but it was a good one. If you watched it, it was.
Dude, I'd heard.
If you haven't watched that, I suggest everybody watch it because it was a good one. It was.
Oh, dude, where was I? Oh, you could. You like us? You want more us? Discord. Discord link, social media. Social media, Twitter, at Paramecia Cast. Rest, Paramecia Fancast. Episode,
I love it.
Monday. YouTube, soon after. Website, parameciafancast.libsyn.com. Podcatcher, all of them.
Spotify, iTunes, Google or YouTube Podcast, Google Podcast. Yes.
Yes.
Crack Theory? No.
I'm trying. No.